Currently sitting on the floor, so I guess you can call me Maniac Floor Bricks. And this is a haul from two different BrickLink stores, but for one specific purpose. I'm just going to get it right out of the way so we can just move on from there. I'm building a giant Bionicle mask wall that I'm going to hang onto the wall to one of my rooms, whether it's the Lego room or this room, still figuring out the spacing of it. But I will be building that separately, doing some updates here and there, and then I'll share that at some point through various social media. So, I'm going to start off with the Brickstar order that I got, and for those who didn't see, he did actually do a live Pablo of picking a BrickLink Lego order, or is it just picking a BrickLink order? I don't know if it was ever one or the same, but either way, I'm going to start off with that one because there were a couple of funny things that he mentioned throughout that video. I did actually watch all the way through. Unfortunately, couldn't watch it live because I was at work at that point, and I did watch it afterwards, and I added some things in the comments to go with it. I also have the invoice pulled up on the computer behind me, or behind the camera, I should say, so I can check if everything's there. I'm not going to count every last blue pin in here, at least during the whole thing here. Angry Dragon 114, welcome and thank you for joining. So, both of these orders were placed on August 17th, 2021, and they arrived August 23rd, luckily at the same time, so it was good. I can have all the parts that I need to work with at the same time, and hopefully it's more than enough. I'm hoping that I don't have to order too much more than this, because this is a lot as it is, and I want to work through this before doing anything else, and I'm really excited for this. This is a project that I've wanted to do for quite some time, and let's get to it. So, both of these were packages that came in the mail, unfortunately, on a rainy day, and were left outside it, and the boxes themselves actually tore apart. Luckily, the good thing about them, all the contents inside were fine. Everything was dry, nothing was warped, perfectly fine as far as bags, nothing leaked inside of them. So that's all good, especially with the Brickstar order, because we do have some paper products and card products that could have leaked. Let me see. Nope, I'll have to get the binder at some other time for another video about some of the stuff that I have from Brickstar here. So starting things out, we have a whole bunch of NBA cards. These are collectible sort of trading cards, kind of stat cards that they had with the minifigure packs of NBA sets. Sometimes they had them in the Lego Club magazines, and I picked up the ones I didn't already have. Ones I either didn't already pick up before, didn't already own. I actually did own a couple of the NBA sets, even though I don't know much about basketball and sports ball in general. The Kobe Bryant one, I see that he kept in a separate baggie, which is nice. So let's see. I'm just going through the right numbers of them. We have Antoine Walker. That's the regular and gold leaf version. They had two different versions of these cards and also different photography to go with them. Bionicle Forever, welcome to the stream. And then, let's see, Jerry Stackhouse. I have no idea who these people are. Like I said, I don't watch basketball. I barely play it myself. I used to have a basketball hoop, I want to say 2 houses ago. It was before 2015, 2016 or so. And it was basically because my cousin no longer wanted his, so we inherited it for our family for a couple of years. Let's see, Jerry Stackhouse, it should be 2 of them. And yep, so we got regular and gold leaf. There's basically 2 versions of every card. Let's see. Who's next? Kobe Bryant. Yep, he's there. And just the one for him. And then it cuts over to Chima on the order. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure I got the other ones in here. They're part of it. The Nashes, the Parkers, the O'Neills. The O'Neills. It's Shaq. Anyways, I just gotta check on the bag here that I have. All these bags are still together. I have not opened up any of these since I got the order. Yes, I am still collecting Shima cards too. And again, collecting the cards more than the figures or the sets. But I do have a big binder. And in case you haven't seen it before, I did a video a long time ago, and this is encouraging me to do an update on it. It's a large, 3-ring binder. that has all these card pages in them for all different Lego cards. So that could be Orient Expedition, Bionicle, Galador, NBA, Chima, Ninjago. Ninjago sometimes fluctuates between that book and another one because there is an actual card binder for Ninjago. I don't know if I have enough to space them out in there because they have a lot of cards. I think it maxes it out. There's the mouse. Let's get that here. There we go. Okay, so card 9, Defender. Yeah, I'm not going to care about the names for them right now. I do go by the BrickLink category as far as numbers for like organizing them. There's like a tiny number on the bottom right that helps with organizing them. And also helps with whatever I'm missing. So it's like, okay, I know if the store will have the right one if it's skipped over. So we got Defender. We want a Fangius. That's a character name, okay. We got a Staffa. There we go. There's a Surat. I honestly don't know a lot of these names for Chima. We got Warriz, so that's a character. We got Scooby, that's barking. We've got, let's see, under Warriz, it's Hunter, or Hunter, the vehicle. At least recognize that. They do have a pattern, so I can tell which ones are which. We got a Maulus, which is a weapon. We got a Stakaku, which I guess is just a staff. Is a funny name. Yep, Scooby, definitely. Yeah, definitely would be interesting to see as a full set. I have the boxes for some of the card kits, where it's like it gives you a pull-out map. I did a couple videos of that on the other channel, Maniac for Bricks More, if you want to check that out. That is the other thing. I'm going to be plugging a bunch of stuff because not all of it's going to be on this channel. Some of it will be airing elsewhere, or they'll come over at some point later. So Maniac for Bricks More will also have a couple more things. If I don't mention them here, they might be over there. After this, I will have a Twitch live stream at Maniac for Bricks, so I'll actually be doing the building. But this is just about the going through the order itself. Nitrodax, that's the add-on for the Speeder or whatever. Eagle Legend Beast, yeah. So I think I only have like one of these, and I don't think it was the Eagle one, so that's in there. I think it was the Wolf or an Alligator. I forget which one it was. It definitely wasn't Eagle, though. Okay, now it cuts back to the NBA cards for some reason. I don't know why it's organized like this on BrickLink, or maybe it's because I just went back through them. Okay, we're there. Yeah, go figure. I know. Don't mind it. Don't mind the interruption, I mean. Paul Pierce, we got the regular and the gold card. Let's see. Shaquille O'Neal. We have the regular card. It says in the order there's a gold leaf of him, too. I think that one might have been missed by accident, because the only one that's in the bag is Kobe Bryant, being a little more valuable than the rest of them. Even Brickstar said that on the Pablo. I do not remember on the Pablo if he picked both of them, but from what I'm holding here, I don't see it. So we'll have to ask him about that sometime later, unless it's swooped underneath something else, like an envelope or something. Because there was an envelope he put a bunch of these in to keep them safe, which did help. Let's see. It's not turning up here. So yeah, I'll ask him about that later. I don't blame him. Yeah, it's all good. Still getting a positive review, of course. This is the first Brickstar order that I've made on BrickLink. I've actually wanted to order from his store for a long time. And you know what I mean. And I've gone through like different kinds of parts I would get for different mocks. And most of the times when I went to his store specifically, unfortunately, it was during a period he had the store closed for inventory or whatever the reason may be. It just would not allow me to order there. So it was funny that the first time I finally ordered through his store is of something that I almost never order on BrickLink. I have never done a bulk lot of Technic parts for any store. Maybe once or twice earlier this year, but it wasn't that many. It definitely wasn't as much, like, quantity wise or even weight wise as this whole thing. So that's interesting on its own. So yeah, mark it down that there's a gold leaf of Shaq missing for right now. I'm sure he has it. He has the whole binder as well, so I'm sure it's in there still. We've got Nash, the regular card, and the gold leaf. So good. We've got Tony Parker, regular, and gold leaf. I guarantee there's still other ones I don't have beyond this from the NBA collection. I'm not interested in getting every single figure. I do regret I did have the NBA collector box that had Shaq with it at one point, but I sold that because I didn't think I was going to really use it. Now I'm like, okay, it would have been kind of cool to have. I'm getting the cards again. I would have liked the minifigure just to put with the Lego Movie stuff because it was featured in the Lego Movie. But, oh no, they were ready for that. You know, I don't know. It would have been cool, but it's fine. Okay. I don't think that one had Karl Malone, which, again, I would not get because I want the basketball player. It's only because of, you know, the Lego realm of it, of Brickstar, you know. So, next up on the list, I've got... Yeah, I may have to actually head out for a little bit to do some dinner and then come back, which means the stream will be awkward for 10 and 20 minutes or so. Either that or I have to end it and then say part 2 and mash them together later. Big, humongous poster. I did not expect it to be this tall, even though it said it on the site, and I could have just read the listing, and I didn't. But when going through his store, I'm like, yeah, I don't have a poster for Lego Universe. I do have the CD game that I picked up at Goodwill a couple months ago. I have the strategy guide that I think I got through eBay. Might have been eBay. And I got the poster with it. I guarantee there's not much I can do on the CD itself, but I still want to try it. And at least still have record of it because I look into all different things of Lego. Whether or not they're good, bad, discontinued, active, whatever. I want to get that point across because I did notice that in Brickstar's recent video. And it's like, yeah, I go the same way with it. I enjoy all different kinds of things, even if it's to make fun of them. Or if I actually do have some admiration of them. So, up next, we've got some bags that have multiple kinds of parts in them, which is fine. I was okay with that when we ordered it that way. I've seen that before with BrickLink orders in the past, so no problem there. Unfortunately, this one opened up, but it did open into this bag, so it's good. And I will do the counting of it actually a bit later, just to show it from the order that I placed in here. 12 dark red robotic arms from Exoforce, Bionicle, whatever. It's, I basically am going to use them as finger joints for a couple of figures, and possibly for actually, you know, like minifigure scale robots. That's something that's been in my wanted list for a long time, and in many different colors. So I was like, well, while I'm in the store, I might as well go for those. We've got Pearl Dark Gray. There should be 59 of them. We've got, I think it's in another bag, 54 of the flat silver ones. So yeah, there's plenty of them to go around. And again, hopefully it's as much as I need and then some. So no problem there. We've got 9 of these green seaweed pieces. I love these things. I don't get enough of them, especially in this color. And I would love to use them in all different ways. They could be for decorating figures. They could be for minifigure displays. They could be for the Lego Aquarium, which, if you don't know, is basically a lizard tank that I converted to having pebbles underneath it and has a whole bunch of Lego underwater stuff, diving stuff. Does not actually have water or filtration through there, but it's a fun thing nonetheless. And that would work for that underwater feel. I've actually built Koro in there. Basically, I had a whole bunch of 2x2 jumpers in blue, like a medium blue or something. And just stacking them on top of each other with like a stud or something in between them, so it looks like little stacks of coral. It's cool. It's a fun idea. I love using parts like that. I definitely know Brickbounder Underworld, Jason, does a really good job of that. Check him out on Instagram. We got white. There should be 14 of these. More arm pieces. So that should cover me for quite a while. Batch number 2. Okay, so for anyone who's wondering, yeah, I know that Brickstar mentioned it in his Pablo about these orders coming in at like early in the morning. Well, basically, a lot of times when I go onto BrickLink, even if it's not the shop, it's just to research stuff. It's late at night, and usually around like midnight or so. For some reason, it's a coincidence. It happens like that by coincidence. And the funny thing is, a lot of times if I'm really looking on there for a while or really like close to like 2 o'clock or so, I get kicked off of there because they have a maintenance period. It's like 10 minutes or so that the site is offline, so they can just run some general site maintenance, you know, whatever the technical things they need to do is, and then it'll restart for anybody using it. I am almost always in that trap of it. I am always at that time of it where I'm looking so long and I'm like, okay, I just have to wait for it to be over. I'll watch a video or something in between, and then I refresh it, and then I don't remember what page I was last on because it just kicks you back to the home page. So they're, whatever that may be, it's fair that they do it, but I do acknowledge that, yeah, I'm just always caught in that time of it. So the funny thing with that, this order started at, it says 54 minutes. It doesn't even say the hour. There's no number hour to it. I guess technically that would have been 12:54 in the morning. And then, I'm only saying this just because Brickstar acknowledged it in the video. And then about an hour later, while picking through parts, it's like I added some in the cart, and then I added more periodically, where I'm like, okay, maybe I'll use these and that and whatever. And then I came back later with this Bionicle mask wall project. And I'm like, okay, what particular parts would I need? Because a lot of the things I covered already are just kind of miscellaneous. But I was also like, well, what else could I use for this project? And I had some rough outlines for it based on other people's designs. I wasn't trying to copy them exactly, but I was like, okay, how can I change it a little bit? And what parts would I need in order to do that? Do I have them in there? Can I search them all up and things like that? So a few parts in here that are more particular side of things, which he did actually pair those together because there were onesies, twosies, and in the Pablo, he was like, why do you only just get one of those? Meanwhile, the rest of the order was really easy because I was just going through the entire lots of things. These parts, which is the right number of them, there was 2 of the Exoforce arms, 2 of the bar holders with handles, 1 of each of those red pieces. That is all correct. I got those because of a figure that I did a video on early in August for Bionicle Day. Basically, a Bionicle version of myself, or of my stick figure, I should say. And I needed these just to upgrade the figure a bit more. So that's why there's onesies of those. The other BrickLink order I have here also adds on to that just a little bit. Minor touches, but at least gets it all in the correct colors and a bit better shape of it. So, what's the next one I need? Oh, right here. In this bag should be 73 of a particular connector piece. A lot of connector pieces are going into this project. Or at least that's how they're classified on BrickLink. Either axles or connectors. Brett's Builds, welcome to the stream. So, what was it, 73 of this piece? I know it's a little glary from the baggie. You can see that. That one's all good. Let's see. We've got 12, because I think there was maximum 12, of another piece that is in another bag. I'm looking in the wrong place. Yep, there it is. They were bagged together with a couple other things, which is a-okay. Still easy to find them. Boom. This is done by color at this point, so I will have to come back to this bag. But there are 12 of the pin axle connector pieces angled number 1, which is just the one hole in the top of it. And then number 2 in the other bag. Again, only because there's so many of those. 5. Just 5. That's all good. Again, between both of these stores, I think there's going to be enough parts to hold me over for a while, which is good. Because with a project like this, I would hope that I can only do a few orders and build up a lot out of it. Too many times when I order through BrickLink, it's nitpicking little pieces, but I have to go through dozens of stores to put something together. And I probably have a bunch of pieces in my collection already, but I'm just don't know where they are. They're so disorganized. It could be anywhere. It might not even be in here. I'm on the phone for a second. Next up, 14 of these. And for the project itself, it would actually help towards the wall hanging function of it. A couple other pieces will do that as well. These are the Technic Axle pin connector perpendicular. Fun fact, perpendicular was a bonus word for one of my spelling quizzes in 5th grade, I think? It was a bonus question. I remember this. It was a bonus question because one math group, at the time, like 4th grade onward in my my grammar school, 4th grade onward, we had different math classes. The whole grade would be split between them. So there was one that was more advanced and one that was more remedial. And the advanced one technically is like where everybody should be, but for some reason they called it advanced. I guess they just didn't want to call the remedial one as, you know, subpar or something. I don't know. But anyways, I remembered that the advanced group already knew what that word was. I was in the remedial group at that time. I moved up later, like 6th or 7th grade or something, to the advanced math. And I just took a guess on spelling perpendicular the right way, just like sounding it out in my head on the spelling quiz. I think I got it right. I'm not sure. Or it might have been really close. I had a spelling bee recently on Twitch with another channel, I mean, but I was a guest on, and I was like, oh, there were so many words that I got off by one letter. It sounded like it would fit. All right, next one. The perpendicular thing I just said with 2 pinholes. Found as many as I could. 10 of them. And again, same purpose. They're going to help with the wall hanging function of it. I have like a whole box of nails. I've had them forever, and I've hung tons of things with them and still had nails left over. They should be the right size to fit through a pinhole, so that'll make it really easy. And I'll, of course, check on the wall, make sure I'm nailing it in the right spot and not hitting something on the other side of it. That could be a problem. All right, next up. That's the wrong bag. Next up, pin connector perpendicular, blah, 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 with center pinhole and 2 axles on the side. 9 of them. Those are going to be helpful connecting different sections of the whole project together. At least that's the rough outline that I have right now. It may change, but that's what I first went in with the intent of those. And then next up, axle pin connector perpendicular triple. Oh, baby, a triple. It's 7 of them. So again, more of the nail work can go on the side of it, can help out with that. Black connector 2L, smooth with X-hole orientation. Gets its own big bag. That's what they look like. It's always good to have more of those. For what little I know of Technic box building on my own, as we've already discussed for many years, I at least know this, that these are good to have around. And there should be, apparently, 95 of them in here. I wouldn't have looked at this bag and thought 95 initially. But that is what I ordered, and I am stoked for that. Now moving on to the grays. So starting things off once again, these pieces. I'm not going to go through every name this time again. 67 of them. Again, I would not have guessed that from this bag, but I like it. We've got more of those connector pieces, but with 2 holes. In a funny little way. 23 of them. That, again, helps with the hanging process. I imagine that some of these will be in different colors or kind of mixed between those colors, so that's why I went with multiple colors of these things. The connectors are in their own bag. Once again, 131. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. Alright, next up, the one I grabbed earlier that I did not mean to grab, but still good to have, 12. 12 of those. And now in a light bluish gray. I'm pretty sure they're all light bluish gray. There's no light grays in them, but it's fine either way. I'm okay with them. Darth Speedy, welcome to the stream. How's it going? And 102. Yeah, that'll help. Those kinds of parts are pretty important because they're going to be the sticking point for any of the masks to attach onto the wall. At least in the current design that I have, it's between those and maybe a couple other pieces that were like, do away with all of them. Do them in every color. I wasn't sure about that, especially if they were going to bleed through the might be underneath, see it there. I was like, I'll stick with these neutral colors for now. Alright, so I did say before I had to go back to one of these bags, and I will. Connector axle thing, 58 of them. That's important. That's also part of it. Was the thing I just said. Axle connector thing, number 6, 90 degrees. The one that's like an L shape. 4 of them. Just 4. It's fair that they're all together in here because so few of them. And while I'm holding this bag, the other piece in here, 12. Just 12. That's all good. But yeah, some of these were basically just wiping inventory out of them because it's like, I know I need a lot. I know there's a lot I'm going to need to use. So I might as well take in as much as possible. I'm not going to say, oh, there's 20 of these. I'm only going to take 13. Why? Just take the 20. Anyways. Got these connectors again. Light bluish gray. 16 of those. And we mentioned the red pieces before. Okay, good. Batch number 3. This was after going through all that. And I'm like, oh yeah. I didn't order any axles. How am I supposed to connect these things together? Crucial pieces, yes. I probably have a bunch of axles somewhere. No idea where. But I'm going to need some more axles to connect them. And in the original design that I had for it, theoretically, I could have gotten one long axle to put a whole bunch of them on and space it out. Originally, I was like, I went through only a couple of photos and I couldn't exactly tell the length of them. So I was like, okay, maybe I could use the 32 long axles so it can be the most amount of room possible. But there aren't a lot of stores that have a lot of those in black. But if you look in like sand green or something, because of the recent bouquet sets from Lego, the big flower sets, because of those sets, they're abundant. Sometimes 10%. So I went to another BrickLink store looking for those, while still having these 2 batches for BrickStar. And when I saw them in another store, I was like, yikes. No, that's a bad option. I kid you not, the parts were either $1 or $2 per piece. And while the store had a ton of them, it would have outweighed, or not outweighed, it would have outcost everything else that I have here in just that kind of part. So I was like, no thank you. So I had to look back, check again what the pictures were that I was basing it off of, a little bit of the designs, and I'm like, okay, I can tweak this a little bit, and I just need some smaller axles in great numbers to make up for that. So that worked out fine. I was really, really happy for that because that would have been yikes to go through. So anyways, batch number 3. And go figure, by this point, it would have been, like I said earlier, maintenance time on BrickLink. So I had to place this order after 2 p.m. This appeared at 2:16. I finally got this through. BFAB, how's it going? All right, so big bag of Technic Axles, 4 studs long, 198 of them. Again, would not imagine that 200 of these would fit into a bag and then still have all that room left. Again, on the counting side of it, I'm not going to worry about that publicly. And I'm going to take Brickstar's word that, as these have been added into the store periodically, breaking, taking apart sets and whatever, that they would be in the same bin, that they wouldn't be missed, If anything was really a problem, I will message about it, like the Shaquille O'Neal gold leaf card. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. But that's not for online. That's not during the live stream. Technic Axle 3, for some reason there's only 9 of them in the store. I guess they're either borrowed for projects or somebody else already swiped them from BrickLink. Happens. This one I probably could have had them myself. Oh wait, did I skip over a part? Oh, I skipped one from earlier. So this was in batch 2. This was a Technic Connector 3 long. I was like, oh yeah, I don't have a lot of those. I could definitely use those. So I have 24 of them in here. And then this one, I was like, I probably have a bunch of them, but I just haven't done anything with it. Free VIP points on Nintendo rewards. That's good to know. I'll take a look at that later. Thank you. Is it for like a survey or something? Because I know they do that sometimes, like the Lego VIP. You always order the most unique things, and I appreciate you for it. Thank you, BFAB. I appreciate your input. Like, I kid you not, I am the last guy you would think that would make a bulk Technic order. I've already discussed before. I've built Technic every so often, and I'm still working my way through it. But this is basically framing, so it's really easy for me to understand and build, and I know it takes a lot. So putting the whole thing together, when you see it later on video, it makes more sense. But I do love, every time I go to a BrickLink store, even if it's for a particular project, I love going through the gears list first. Because any of those gear items, that's the weird merchandise, that's where you find the weird stuff that I would be interested in, that I throw into the order with it. So with Brickstar Store, it definitely helped in that way. I guarantee I have this sitting somewhere, probably all different places. But while they were here, and they were like 2 cents each or something, or less than 2 cents each even. 787 of these. I'm pretty sure that on the Pablo from Brickstar, he counted like a couple of them and just dumped the rest of it into the bag. It was great. Again, I do not blame him for not counting independently every single one of these. When I had a BrickLink store many years ago, I didn't have this kind of quantity, but I would still like thoroughly count everything, and it took forever. And there were some of them that just like, okay, they obviously depleted. Okay, just reconnected. I obviously would have got rid of the whole lot. And if they did that, I probably could just throw it in there, maybe recount it after that, and it'll be fine. I think the reason I know about Galador Zap. That sounds about right. I mean, I did Galador videos a couple of years back. I don't know if Brickstar did them before me. It's fine if it was. I know that he's done Zap videos long before me. Just Too Good did one of a polybag that I reviewed a couple of years beforehand, but he did have a pretty good video about it, and he did have it sealed. Surprisingly, that is one you can find sealed pretty commonly. It's not rare or anything. They make a whole ocean out of just this Technic piece. So there we go. That is everything, and not listed on the invoice because it's a requested kind of thing. I didn't know if he still did the signed bricks. I didn't know if he still had them available. So I just added it into my comments on the order. Signed Brickstar Brick, Pablo, first order in store. And when I placed the other batch, I had Pablo, second order in store. I didn't realize it was all going to go into the same file. I thought it was going to separate it as two different orders initially, because I haven't shopped in BrickLink in a while. So then the third one of the Brick Fair Virginia shirt. This is one that they have just about every year. Like, they've had this style of shirt for, I want to say, 2 or 3 years now, since they did the redesign of a lot of stuff. And Kevin back then commissioned, did a whole bunch of these. So it's not like exclusively this year's. They've had this same design on several colors of shirts and in a couple different styles of it, like a polo shirt or something like that. So I probably have a whole bunch of these around just from working there, because they usually give me an extra one or two while working. I got the rare red 2x4 brick. Yeah, so that's what we're leading up to. And I also added something between the second and third batches that I said, update. Request to remove all the red and white Technic Axle pin connector perpendicular, blah, 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 blah. I literally just copy and pasted. Because there was some that I ordered, and I was like, yeah, that might actually not help. It might be more than I need, and it's in a color I probably am not going to use. So I did a parts request to take them out of the order, and then he filled it out, and I accepted, and there you go. Let's see. Interesting. Needs to pay. Yeah, no problem. It's all good. So I did get a rare 2x4 red brick signed Brickstar. I'll do a better photo sometime later when it's not in the baggie, so I can have it with the sig fig. Right. So now we have everything of Brickstar's order taken care of, except for literally counting it. But again, I'm not doing that on the stream here. Nobody wants to see me sit here on the floor painstakingly counting every single piece. 586, 587, 588, or is that 589? Start over. That would be a nightmare, because I do have that problem where if I skip a number counting, I have to start it all the way back at the beginning. Something like that, I probably would just group into tens and then just count all the tens up. Long counting streak. Yeah, maybe sometime later. I don't know what's gonna happen. Right. As for the other store, this is Toys for Boys, which I made a joke about before, but then again, I'm like, I don't know if that joke is still good, so I'm gonna refrain from repeating it. I did not already say it on the stream, luckily, here. And it's pretty much the same categories of parts, same colors of parts. A couple things that are different. Obviously, this is a BrickLink, so it does not do YouTube, or that I know does YouTube, so they didn't have any option to request a Pablo or anything. That's a Brickstar thing. I don't even know. It's Pop's Block Shop. That's the name of the store, right? Pop's Block Workshop? Pops. Let's call it Pops. I know that he does a lot of social media. I know that he does a lot for BrickLink, but I don't know if he does video of picking the orders. I honestly don't know anyone who, besides Brickstar, does videos of picking the orders. Actually, maybe a few, but I haven't watched them in a while, so I don't know if they still keep up with it. They're sometimes calling it a reverse haul because they're packing it instead of unpacking it. And they included a paper invoice, so Toys for Boys has it in here. There was a slight issue with the order where some of it was credited back to me, if I recall correctly. $5.22 were credited back because of certain parts that were not available initially, I believe. Or not in the same quantity, I think. This is actually listed in the paper invoice. I'm not saying every BrickLink seller needs to do this, but I do appreciate when it's here, especially if there's a discrepancy. So it actually does mark it on each of these pages, which ones were counted, which ones were missing. So, okay, there we go. So 2 of a certain piece, just different condition. were not available in the store, which is fine. And then 34 of a certain piece. I ordered 59 of them. 34 of a certain piece were not available in the store, and that was credited back to me. Okay, it's all good. At least I got notified about that before it shipped and everything, so I'm okay with that. So, let's start out. Actually, this one does it differently than what I have on BrickLink. Uh-huh. Editing so hey, props to you on multitasking. Even if you're just listening to my voice. I have a hard time of putting music or a stream or anything in the background while editing a video. Because I'm like, oh, I gotta listen to the video, make sure that it all lines up. So, or if I need to omit something, then I can do that. So, props to you for being able to do that. Oh, because it's different condition, that's why. Bag inside of a bag. Alright, so I'm going to go off of the one that I see here on BrickLink. Can't listen to music and edit because I bought. That also, that is true too. I understand. All good. Alright, so I'm just going to go off of the one that I see here on BrickLink as that invoice, and since I already know about those discrepancies, it's fine. It's a more basic video, so I can still engage and edit. Okay, good. It's all good here. Alright, connectors. I gotta find the bag. Yep. Okay, so in this bag, we got 44 of them. So that is very helpful. We got Technic Axle 4 studs wide. I'm not going off of the exact name of it, and I'm embellishing a little bit because it just says Technic Axle 4. For what? 4 studs wide. That's why they classify them. 59 in there. Good, good. So this is an order that I placed after the Bixar order, where I'm like, okay, they got a good amount, and then I found another seller for a particular part, and I just went to town on their store too. So I was like, oh, well, if I couldn't find as many on the Brixar store, which is fine, and I still got a good order out of it, then I could place another order, hopefully get it around the same time, and it could beef out things even further. So, hopefully it will. We shall see. Okay. Pin and connector angled to 180 degrees. So this is the one that there was very few of in Brixar's store for whatever reason. And needless to say, I got enough. I got quite enough. 237 of them. And this is almost filling the sandwich bag. Like, I use these kinds of sandwich bags in general for all different kinds of things in my house, Lego included. So to see this filled with them, it's like, oh dang, that's I gotta remember that. So axle connector number 6, 90 degrees, the L shape again, L on his forehead. They got that back there, and 20 of them. I don't need a gratuitous number of those because they're the edges of the frame. It's fine. And I don't know how many of those frames themselves I'm going to make, but 20 here, there's a couple of them in the other, on the Brixar order, even if they're different colors, I think it'll work fine. Alright, next piece. Axle pin connector, perpendicular. 60 of those in this one baggie. Just again, also, yeah, we're getting a lot of glare because I have 2 screens in front of me. I'm looking at the viewfinder of the screen for the stream, selfie cam, whatever. So there is some of that coming off in here. And then the laptop next to me. So, pin connector with 2 holes, blah, blah, blah. Got a whole baggie of them here. 110 of those. Sounds good. That's useful. That's the hanging stuff. And, oop, I skipped over a part. Wait. Oh, there it is. Okay. Thought it was buried under something. It was right on top and just off to the side. 8. That's fine. Again, I don't need a huge number of those, but I'll take in what I can because they can work in a couple different ways for the project. And I say that because I have a whole big bag of another color of them. We'll get to that in just a bit. Going by color still. So we still got a few more black elements. Big bag of more hanging pieces. 138. These are the same ones as before, but they got 3 holes. The old baby a triple. That's it. Technic black, connector smooth, blah blah blah. 219. Bam. Yeah, no, there's actually going to be more in another bag. That's not one that was missing as far as I know. So yeah. Cool. Next 2 pieces are in a miscellaneous bag because they just did not need to be. Again, it's fine. Wouldn't need to have an entire bag like this, or even a bag like this, for one piece to be in there. Technic black tooth gear with 12 teeth, double bevel. I don't actually know what beveling is. That's never come up in any of the STEM classes that I've had to teach. So, I'm not worried about that for now. But I got that in black. One of those. And then I got the 20 tooth gear in black. That's again for the mock that I posted earlier this August. Basically just making the colors look better. That's it. Because the ones I have right now are gray. Or light gray. So it's all good. I don't know about the best haul ever. I could definitely think of better ones even on my own channel. The infamous haul 198. I believe it was 198. 190 something. Back when I used to number them. If I still numbered them, I'd be afraid I might have gone to the 300 to 400s by now. But anyways, haul 198, I think it was the infamous retro haul, where I had a whole big bag, like two big bags full of retro Lego pieces. Did not have enough to build sets, but still had a lot of nice parts that I could use in all different ways, or just have to collect. Like, it's okay, now I have M-Tron pieces, now I have Explorians, now I have Blacktron, things I think I did get to build 1 or 2 sets out of them, like, over time. Alright, so next up, we've got Technic. More of those blue pieces. That's all I need to know. This bag has 580 of them. And these 2 bags have 100 each. They're a little bit varied in condition on some of these parts. That's why they're in different bags. They're sorted different ways. It is nice that on the bags themselves they do say 100. It's like, okay, quantity. Just put that right into it. They're both marked as new, though. Maybe they're parted out from different sets. I don't know. Happens. It's all good. More of those funky pieces. Wait. Nope, not that one. That's the one. The light, dark bluish gray we're on right now. 27. That's good. Up next. There it is. It's blending together. Technic pin connector with 198 degrees. 48. All good there. This hanging piece. 253 of these. All good. This other hanging piece with 2 holes in it. I think this was the one on the order. No, that one was fine. Okay. I think they added that one. Yes. So they have a small bag inside of the large bag with the one that's used, but everything else is new. For me, I think it's pretty courteous as a BrickLink seller, but as a BrickLink buyer, they're all going to the same purpose. It's fine. It's all good. But yeah, if you're selling, if you're gonna have them in different conditions, you might as well mark them differently. That's okay. And with that all total, it's 224. It's got some nice shake to it. I can make a maraca out of these pieces. Just make a big globe, pour them all in, make a maraca. It's more Lego music than video, I'll tell you that. And I got a whole bunch of videos that I want to work on. I already have the plans for them, but I want to work on them. Of Lego products that do music better than video. It'd be fun. They have the same Mario. Yes, I did see about that. I didn't know that was the promotion for it, but I do know it exists. Maybe I didn't ask, but what are you building? So I said in the very beginning before you got here, so I understand if you didn't hear it. And basically, all of this is to build some big frames so that I can hang up Bionicle mask pieces on them. And I skipped over that in the beginning because the B word is somehow forbidden on this channel, even though I talk about all different Lego things. So, yeah, that's what it's for. There will be updates. There will be videos of progress about that over time. I actually went through my old videos and archives of photos from when I had done the original version of that, just to see the progression of those over time. So this one will hopefully be much more sturdy, and this one is not going to come to conventions. I have seen one or two people bring them to Brick Fair, Virginia, which is cool, and it was good to see that in person, and also help complete that because we were just given the task of we have a whole bunch of these mask packs, and we'll open them up, and hopefully we'll find the ones we need. Extras the person kept as well. But I'm not planning to bring this one to shows, at least for right now. Maybe over time, depending on the condition of them. If they hold together well enough, I could. Or if I'd have to build another piece to it to make them stand up properly. But for right now, my intent is that I would build a couple of frames out of them and then connect those frames together, and then those frames would hang up on the wall. And progressively, as I collect more of a certain area, that frame will get filled out and that will be added further onto it. So that's what these are for. That's why there's oodles of them. Oodles, I tell you. There we go. So back onto it. The perpendicular center hole. 156. That's going to be good. So I don't mind that some of these are going to be more black, more light gray, a mix between them, dark gray. They're fine. The colors will make just enough sense being together. The original mask wall that I had it entirely dark gray for 2 wall pieces and then one entirely in black. And it really didn't matter. It was just convenience of parts. It was a lot of pick-a-brick orders. Not orders. It was in the store. It was like with the cups. And it was like, okay, if I can't find a solid basic brick in this color, I can find the plates that can make up a brick that could build it. So I'd get like tons and tons of 1x2 plates. I still have tons of them that I can use in other projects. And 2x2s and other things to basically fill that out and then be able to do other stuff with them. Let's wrap this up. So, connectors. Dark gray ones. I got 102. And I think that was the one where I don't remember. No, that one's okay. Oh yeah, okay. Then we have the dark gray of these with some new, some used. 54. And another 5, so it's 59. And that was the one where they said, oh, we're missing 34 of them, so you got that credit back in that order. So that's good. Where is it? Just sitting. It should be sitting right here, but I don't know where I put it. Is it one of the other bags? Is that the one where No, they're in there. Okay. They were with the other ones. The new ones and used ones, they're the ones I said before in the same bag. Okay. That's all taken care of. Okay, light gray. Now we're on the light bluish gray and we're almost done. So, the connectors again, 24 of those. We've got connectors in here. I forgot to mention the black ones earlier. But the gray ones, I got 33. And black, 8. It's good. I want to have flexibility with some of this because I know that the masks range in different sizes. So there are some of them that help with like a little bit more length to it just in case, you know, the mask is too wide. I actually went through the old pictures and I was like, oh yeah, I remember 1 or 2 of these being a pain in the neck because you couldn't properly sit it. It had to stretch out a little bit. It was angled downwards, so you couldn't see it properly just because it fanned out. Unless I just rebuilt the whole thing and spaced everything differently around it, but then it would look odd. You would look at the entire thing from the distance and be like, oh yeah, they're all off to the side. They're all warping around it. It wouldn't look great. Oh yeah, these pieces, I got 8 of those. 8 of them. Wait, see it? 8 of those. Good. Good there. Forgot to mention that before. We got these connectors again. Light bluish gray. 36 of those. Alright. Technic Axle gray 3. 209. That was one that also was from the BrickLink, or from the Brickstar store that I didn't find a lot of in the store. And it really helped surplus it here. Right. And this, 36 in light gray. There's 4 of them in violet. There's a couple of pieces in the store that were violet, and I've been working on violet and purple, trying to build up more of those collections of pieces, and I wanted to mock stuff with them. So, I pick them up when I can. I'll scroll through different colors of different sections of pieces and be like, I don't know if I have that many in this, or that, or whatever. Trans Dark Pink's another one I would love to get more parts in because I want to build something. I've had a mock in mind of building that, and that's part of the color scheme. That mock has not been built, but it's been in design for so many years, and I'm like, I really need more of that color. And specific parts in that color, too. Not a lot of stores have them, or at least in different times. When I look through stores, they don't have them. Eventually, we'll get that together. It'll be a space mock, too. And we got a whole bunch of these in different kinds of lipped arms. There are 5 and 1. I can literally count that from here, and I know they got it right. That, my friends, is the end of our unboxing. It is not the end of the counting, but I don't know about that. And let me just flip the camera around. I said flip the camera around. There we go. And there's a look at everything. So everything this side over is the Toys for Boys order, which was actually more parts than the Brickstar order, but that's fine. They're both for the same purpose. They're still both going to work out very well. And got to keep that rare red 2x4 brick safe. So again, thank you to both Brickstar and Toys for Boys on BrickLink for these orders, of massive orders of Technic parts. And sometime later, I will be building up what this will go to. Got a whole big red bin over there of Bionicle stuff that'll actually make this make more sense. Thank you all for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have yourselves a wonderful night. I'm going to go eat dinner, and I'll talk to y'all later.